Hello YouTube, my name is Monica Smith and I want to welcome you back to my channel, Creative Moments. But before we get into writing tip number 4, I want you to look below, get your mind out the gutter people, and I want you to hit that red subscribe button and that little bell as well so that you will be notified each and every time I upload a video. Yeah. Okay, so writing tip number 4. Why should I read a book by another author? God, that question is so broad and it is so important. But my first answer to that question will be because it's relaxation. It's enjoyable to read someone else's work. It might not be the best book that you pick. It might be the best book that you pick, but you're still getting to see how someone else creates their craft. Besides, you are learning. Never think that you are better than anybody else. Never think that you're better than anybody else. Even if you write a #1 book, even if you write 5 #1 books, never get overconfident that you don't need anybody else, that you don't have to read anybody else's book, because you can always learn something. You learn it each and every day. So for me, I like to read other authors. Let me get comfortable. I'm sorry, people. For me, I like to read other authors just because I love to read. All jokes aside, I love to read, especially a good paranormal book. I like to see how they develop their characters. I like to see how they intertwine their story. I like to see it from the beginning to the end. I love to read work by other authors. Like I said, the first book that I fell in love with was by Sister Soldier, The Coldest Winter Ever. My mom, on the other hand, she likes those big, heavy dictionary type books. She likes the Joy Luck Club. She likes The Bone Setter's Daughter. But she is actually the person who got me to start reading, who was like, here, read this, read that, read this. I was the type of person in the beginning that I wanted to read the book when it came out on TV. It sounds horrible, but I didn't want to sit there and read the book. But I didn't realize that there was a difference until I seen the movie Color Purple. I had read the book, The Color Purple, but when I seen the movie, there was so much in the book that was not in the movie. So those are the things that really started me to reading. And even when I became an author myself, I felt that it was important to read other authors' work because, for one, if I'm writing a book and I don't know anything about that person's culture or that tribe or how they do relationships in certain groups or whatever, you can pick up a book by another author who has experience in those areas, and you can learn from those authors. So to me, that was just as important as writing my own story, to read someone else's story. Also, and I'm cheating y'all, I have a little cheat sheet here. It helps you to understand the things that you don't know. So again, I knew about spouse abuse because I was a victim of spouse abuse. I knew about erotica because I love sex. Love everything about sex. So those are the things that I knew in depth. But when I crossed that bridge into paranormal, I had to start reading books by paranormal authors. And it just gave me a whole new insight to, you know, their world. So it's so important. It is so important that you don't just stop at your work and feel like you don't need help from anybody, because everybody somewhere needs some type of help. Another thing is it builds your vocabulary. So when I started to write, we all speak English. You know the English language, but you don't want to use the same word over and over and over and over in your book, because now it's not only repetitive, but it's becoming boring to the reader. So an example is, maybe I'm describing the color of her hair. I am a big fan of women with red hair. I love the color red hair. My daughter dyed her hair red. So if you notice, most of the characters in my book, they have red hair. But how do you describe that red hair? So I can say today it might be a fiery red, or a scorching red, or a candy apple red. So by reading someone else's work, even though you don't realize it, it's helping you to build your vocabulary. It sounds funny, but it is so true, you know. So, and even though I'm a fan of Black authors, I support my people, I'm for my people, I'm about my people, I also read books by white authors, because sometimes the way that they explain stuff and the way that they see stuff is so much different than the way that I would say it or I would write it. And it helps you to make it a little bit more diverse. So, you know, it expands your vocabulary. It's very important to me, maybe not to you, but to me, that you pick up a book and read. Even if it's a couple of chapters, a couple of pages, pick up a book and read it. You might be surprised that you really actually like that author and the way that they talk to you, the way they make you see that big picture. Another thing is, what did I put in there? I would say just for a relaxation type deal. So as an author, we are under so much stress, not only from our readers, but because we are trying to give the readers the best part of us. So sometimes I have to put my computer down and say, enough is enough, Monica. That's it. Take a break, because right now your mind is a hot mess. And I will pick up a book or go to my Kindle and I will start reading, just as a bring me back down to reality type of thing. So reading, it can help you with stress. It can help you with writer's block. It can help relax your mind, relax your body, relax your soul. So, I mean, reading someone else's work is so beneficial to you as an author, to you as a writer, because it gives you so much more knowledge, so much more knowledge. And it opens your mind and your eyes to so much more. And like I said, it builds up your vocabulary. I mean, you can always go to the internet. I'm always talking about the internet in all my videos. You can always go to the internet and Google a word to get the meaning of another word in another different way. But why not educate yourself?
Here's what I found.
Oh, why are you finding things? Why not educate yourself by reading other people's work? Don't always depend on the internet. I mean, it's a great tool that the world has came up with, but back in the old days, those people read, those people researched, and those people wrote awesome books. So maybe you don't feel the way I do. As I always say, let's talk about it. Tell me why you don't feel like it's important to read another author's book. Tell me why you feel it is important to read another author's book? Let's discuss it down below. You know I like to do that down below thing. But me personally, I read books by Natavia. I am a fan of her work, of her paranormal books. I read books by Anita. I'm a fan of her paranormal work. I'm a fan of Amy Tan, her Bone Setter's Daughter. That was my mom's favorite book. I am a fan of, what is her name? Nisi P. She writes very good paranormal books. So Keisha L. or Keisha Smith, I don't know exactly which name she's going under, but she writes very good gutter books. Trinae. So I read books by a lot of different authors, and I know that you won't be able to see it, but my Kindle, let's see if I can pull it up. First, it might help if I put some glasses on. Please excuse me. My Kindle will show you that, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I go to school, so that's algebra. But I'm always reading books by different authors. So not only do I read their books, but I actually go back and read my own books, just in case I want to write a sequel to something. And that's another thing, just in case you want to write a sequel to something. But to me, my personal opinion, read as much as you can, read as often as you can, and read different genres, because you never know where your next bestseller might come from. But until next time, I want you guys to have a blessed day.